Kristin here. Today I wanted to share with you some info on how to become a less wasteful and more environmentally sustainable dental practice while also saving your office time and money. Some of the waste created in dentistry does not yet have other alternatives, such as single-use masks and gloves. But there are other areas in dentistry where there is significant waste that is entirely unnecessary. When I first started reading up on the path to more eco-friendly dentistry, I was shocked to learn the stats on offices that are not yet digital. Even if you think your office is digital or paperless, there may still be room for improvement. So let's start first with some of the pros and cons. The cons of going digital: there's a high upfront cost, but this often comes with long-term savings and less supplies needed. And then there's the time required it takes to make the transition. There's team training and scanning. I've helped offices with this transition, and it definitely can be timely, but it's 100% worth it in the end. Some offices will even hire short-term help who can focus solely on chart scanning without having to worry about time away from patient care. And then the pros of going digital: there's less waste created, less environmental impact, you're ordering fewer supplies, requiring fewer shipment deliveries, and creating less waste on the back end. Digital also requires significantly less physical space to store all those paper charts and files. It allows for quicker treatment times, and it's more accurate and detailed charting and treatment planning. It is often way faster to type out those notes than to handwrite everything. And this also creates a decreased likelihood of cross-contamination, as digital devices are easier to disinfect or use barriers with. Digital charts are also more easily shared with patients or other practitioners when communicating between specialists or if the patient switches offices. And as an educational resource, digital wins out. Being able to pull up a monitor-sized radiograph or intraoral image to show the patient an infection or other problem area really helps to impress the importance of the issue on the patient, which in turn also leads to greater case acceptance and more treatment scheduled into the doctor's column. Now, for those of you in a hurry, here's your quick list on the top 6 ways to go digital that we'll dig into a little deeper. First, we have digital radiographs. Along with the previously listed benefits, digital radiographs require significantly less radiation to process the image than traditional film. Depending on the film used, radiation exposure can be reduced by as much as 90%. This is great for both patient and clinician. Digital radiographs also eliminate the environmental burden of silver, lead, and the chemicals used to develop X-rays. The EDA estimates that the U.S. dental offices dispose of 48 million lead foils each year. Despite the increased level of both human and environmental hazards posed by traditional film radiography, the EDA has found that only 60% of U.S. dental offices have switched to digital radiographs. That means that there are still 40% of offices still using film. Next on our list, paperless charting and paperless patient paperwork. This switch creates a more efficient process in the amount of time needed, resources required, and accuracy of the information recorded. It eliminates the time needed to pull charts and refile them. There's no more searching for lost or misfiled X-rays or chart pages. There's no more time wasted trying to decipher handwritten notes, and this allows for clearer, more precise communication by utilizing typed notes or messaging, rather than trying to pass a post-it note or catch the doctor before an exam. Digital notes allow for more detail and accuracy. The old handwritten notes often only included 1 to 2 lines of notes that usually involved treatment completed and treatment needed. But when it comes to liability and legal considerations for your office, if it's not in the notes, it didn't happen. If you have a patient calling back complaining about something, you want to make sure you have detailed notes to reference. A report from dentalproductsreport.com states that 60% of dental offices have not integrated digital charting, despite survey data indicating that fully digital dental office saves nearly $9,000 per year on supplies alone. If you work at one of these offices still utilizing paper charting, I offer you the challenge to track how much time is spent on non-productive tasks such as pulling charts and refiling them. Next on our list, let's not forget digital billing and receipts. There are many phone app and email options for receipts now, and with most patients using smartphones, The majority find this way easier to keep track of the information. Many businesses now also allow clients to opt in for digital billing, saving on paperwork, ink, and postage, and often providing an easier way for patients to pay as well. To illustrate this point a little further, an article from dentalproductsreport.com offers some stats on the matter. They state that the average dental office uses about 50 sheets per day printing billing or walkout statements, or about 10,000 sheets per year, as well as another 10,000 sheets of paper per year printing paper charts, and that doesn't even include patient paperwork, treatment plans, receipts, faxes, or the like. And most of this paper does not come from sustainable or recycled sources and cannot be recycled on the back end. A lot of this paper contains confidential patient information, meaning it cannot be recycled and it must be shredded to adhere with the HIPAA regulations. Adding on to this list, digital scheduling and appointment reminders. If you haven't already, toss out those old schedule books and stop using erasers and whiteout. Digital helps to not only keep track of your appointments, but also allows you to more easily add and remove treatment, access the rest of the patient's chart, and check on insurance, among many other personalization options that the dental software provides. And now that your schedule's digital, you can stop sending out those postcard reminders as well. Patients can now opt in for email and text reminders, which can be automated, also reducing the number of calls the front office needs to make for simple appointment reminders and saving their time for more important tasks. As a slightly newer product to this list of digital, we have digital scanners. The long-term cost savings on the impression materials, stone, and trays, as well as potential for discounted lab fees or even no lab fees if you're doing it in office with crown milling or other devices. There's also the time savings included by eliminating the need for retakes and the time spent prepping, pouring, allowing adequate drying time, and then trimming the models. And if you're using one of those CAD/CAM milling machines, you can reduce the need for crown seat appointments, which also opens up more time in the doctor's schedule. Not to mention the time saved by being able to immediately send the digital scan to labs versus having to wait for the lab to pick it up. And it's easier for the lab to work with digital impressions, as it's easier to eliminate voids and other discrepancies in the final impression. And the patient's favorite part of all this? No more gagging on those trays and material, and no more mess. And finally, last on our list today, digital marketing. In today's world, if you're selling a product or service, you'll likely require a website. But more than that, you need new ways to reach a society that is connected to smartphones. Social media accounts such as Facebook and Instagram have become an important way to connect on a more personal level with patients. You can introduce them to team members, post updates on fun office activities or promotions, and even create educational videos and posts to help motivate their healthcare efforts at home. There's email newsletters as another consideration. You no longer need to waste funds on paper, ink, and postage to mail out letters, when you can instead send out a digital email update, which also allows you to include links for the patient to visit your website or to schedule an appointment. While this list will almost certainly continue to grow and change as technology advances, the time, money, and energy saved with these upgrades can free up time for a practice to incorporate even more detection, diagnosis, and treatment modalities that can help set it apart from others as a practice providing the best care for their patients. So in review, the big switches your office should be considering, if it hasn't already, include the following list up here: digital radiographs, paperless charting and paperless paperwork, paperless billing and receipts, scheduling and appointment reminders, digital scanners, and digital marketing. You may not own or manage a practice, but you can still help influence decisions that are made. Approach these issues with your doctor and office manager. Reach out to your local reps to inquire about educational material or even a lunch and learn opportunity. Do your own research. Stop by booths at the next dental conference to ask questions. Help reduce the impact dentistry has on the environment while also making your job easier and helping the dental office run more efficiently. And finally, I'll leave you with a quote from Anne-Marie Bonnet, who says, "We don't need a handful of people doing zero waste perfectly. We need millions of people doing it imperfectly. So being a green or environmentally conscious dental office goes beyond recycling cans and boxes. Rethink the products you're using, how they are sourced, and what alternatives may be available. Hopefully this inspires you, and thanks for listening, guys.